up, party people? Welcome to Crossplay, our video game podcast here at the Whatnauts. It is Sunday, the 25th of April, 2021, and this is episode 68. Coming up on today's show, Vita lives! It turns out that the Vita and PlayStation 3 stores are not being shut down like they originally said. CD Projekt Red has opened up about Cyberpunk 2077 sales and returns, and Discord has apparently turned down buyouts from Microsoft and a few others. We'll get to all of that in just a bit, because we also have another special guest here this week, and no, it is not Gino Viteri this time. This week we have more than one Kyle on the show, and I am so happy.
Yep.
My name is Kyle Springer, and I am joined by Gino Viteri.
I'm here. I'm
Why
not the
did you
special
not
guest
introduce
anymore.
the other Kyle? Should have introduced him.
There, man. Save
Best
the
for last. We gotta do best for last. That's right.
Bookends,
You
dude.
should have said Alan first, because we're gonna go like from worst to best. You know what I mean? You should have said Alan first.
Oh wow.
And
But it was me
Alan
first, so
Busby.
I'll take that fall.
Yeah. Hi. Yeah, I'm alive actually.
There you go. And
Not
Ignacio
dead.
Rojas.
It means life. It lives.
Clearly not
Vita
dead.
lives. Vita lives indeed.
Vita.
And last but not least, our special guest this week, the founder of 6-1 Indie and the host of PS Trophy Room. It is Kyle Stephenson. Kyle, welcome aboard.
Also, very
Nice.
excited this boy is
Oh,
alive.
yeah, the flame. This is the
You
part.
got the beautiful blue, baby
Bringing
blue.
out the
I
Vita.
know. I wish I still had the
Kyle,
OLED.
how much? How
I
much?
miss
How
it.
much? How much for it?
Just
How much-
go
what are you
on
offering, Gino?
eBay.
How much for it?
Go on
No,
eBay.
just
Wait,
buy
first of all, let me point
the
out,
just
for
buy the
video.
Aqua Vita from eBay. It's like $190.
No, I want it from Kyle.
Yeah, and then the memory card's 300.
Touche.
So it's good.
I just want to point out for like the
Well, just
the
you
video,
play
people
you
watching
play one
video.
game.
People
Play one
watching
game.
video, look at Kyle Stevenson's freaking background, dude. What a freaking room.
Damn.
Aaron, what a room this guy has here.
It took a long time. To
One
get to
up
this
to you,
spot.
Kyle Springer. You had the best room here.
Yeah.
I
But look
mean,
at this.
I have
Me and what we
Street
got
Shark
Kyle
action figures
Springer here.
and Power Rangers action figures still in the box, the originals.
I don't know. I don't know,
Wow,
man.
nice.
Ignacio's got those wires,
Nice.
in the background. That
I can appreciate a good wire.
The cricket
comes
TV,
together.
yeah.
comes together.
TV.
He's Ignacio's breaking up that simple background with some wires.
Actually, I have original art here, Final Fantasy 14 original art,
Of course.
that I'll continue saying. I apologize for stealing it. They said to not print it out myself. So I'll continue to apologize for that. Just want to say that I don't know who the artist is, so I can't credit them.
It's
But
not
it's
in-
very beautiful. Very
I
beautiful.
know I have
NFT.
Alan with his couch.
With my couch. Hey,
Yeah.
I'm still only in a 1-bedroom apartment. I don't have an actual space yet, and I'm in a comfy spot. All right. It
You sit on the
eventually.
floor. This is the floor that
Yeah.
you're sitting on, right?
Oh yeah, it's
You
the
have a
floor.
couch there.
Oh yeah.
You choose to sit on the floor. There was
Yeah, you're consciously choosing the floor over the
Yeah.
really comfortable.
Yeah.
looking
I
couch
don't
behind you.
have a way to set stuff up to. I don't have a
Set-
boom arm. I
Alan,
work with what
Alan.
I have.
Alan, for us, sit on the couch for a second. Let's just
No.
see what that casualness looks like.
No.
Let's just see what it looks like.
No.
You sit on the
Like, no,
couch.
just
I'll
see
do
my
it. I'll do it at
legs.
the end.
So there was something else. I don't know if it was one of a stream or something else, but I saw you sitting behind, I think, another couch, but you sitting on the floor. I don't remember. I think I
No.
saw you
What?
some. Nah, maybe
Was
making
it?
it up.
No. What
Yeah,
I was gonna say.
whatever.
What like
Or it was a
I'm in
different
front of a
angle, I don't
couch. Be like I'm in front of a couch, but behind another couch. Couchception.
know.
How
Yeah,
many
exactly.
couches do I actually own? You don't
I
know.
see two
Wait,
on
is
the
it
shot
two?
right now.
That is not a couch.
It looks like it.
No.
Very
That is a
80s vibe too. Very 80s
That
vibe.
is a
the
that is a
love
chair.
seat.
That
Yeah,
is a
love seat.
chair.
There you go.
Go.
So, first of
Kyle
all, we have to
Stephenson.
address something. No, wait. Before we do anything, we have to address the elephant in the room that we have Kyle Springer and Kyle Stevenson. What
Okay.
are we going to do to differentiate both of you?
Okay. Okay.
I
So we
mean,
talked about it.
Whatever you want.
Yeah,
it's
we
fine.
talked about it a
Well-
little bit earlier, and
Gino said, "Hey,
I
Chief,
was gonna,
I'm fine with that."
Who?
since
did
I
it-
read the news, right, and
Okay.
I want to throw it over to people, I'm gonna say Kyle, and then you guys are gonna have to guess. You're just gonna have to guess who I'm talking
Sure. We'll do rock, paper, scissors
Okay.
every time.
Yeah.
to. You got that.
Or
we'll
Rochambeau.
we'll say for Kyle Stevenson, we'll say Kai Kai, like he said his nieces like to say.
Sure.
And Kyle Springer will say Kai Kai Kai. No, that's a really bad. That's a really bad acronym.
Not a good idea, Gino.
Really bad acronym.
Now,
Kyle
Alan,
Springer,
did you
Kyle
call it
Springer.
Rochambeau?
Yeah, Rochambeau.
That's what you call it?
Because watching JoJo's, they have like a whole chapter and episode where a main character and a side villain, they battle for their lives in rock paper scissors, but it's called Rochambeau. So I just like how that
it's
sounds.
Japanese, but I know some people
Yeah,
in the US say it like that. But
that's right.
Weird.
I thought you were one
I
of those.
prefer the Critical Role version.
You what?
Boulder Parchment Shears is what Critical Role
What was it?
There you go.
Okay, so we got
I-
Kai Kai and we got who's Springer?
Chief.
Mr. Yo Kyle.
Yo Kyle. Or Chief.
Yeah.
Or
Chief.
Springer or
Or
Springer.
Springer.
Yeah, you can just
All right.
call me by
Perfect.
my last name. That's fine.
That's right.
Last names work.
Awesome.
Last names work indeed. Or full names. I could just be like, Kyle Stevenson. What's up, dude?
Yeah.
Nah.
Hi.
Wow.
we
exactly.
ain't got that time.
Doing well.
No,
How often are we gonna say each
no,
other's names? You know what I
we're
mean?
millennials. We have we're the newer. We have to abbreviate things because we have to save time with saying more words. We have to say more by saying less.
Exactly.
Let's throw a wrench in it. Let's go middle names. What's your middle
Oh.
name, Kyle Springer?
Bradley.
It is the same.
Brad.
It's redacted,
It's-
you said?
I wish.
It's
Bradley.
Bradley. Okay.
Bradley.
Yeah.
Ah,
I'm Andrew.
Hey.
My middle name's Andrew.
Bradley and Andrew.
Yeah.
All
There
right.
you go.
Perfect. Okay.
Great.
Just go off of that.
Now,
Nice.
yeah, now you
No more
really start
Kyle.
messing people up where they're like, hello, my name is Bradley, and joining me, and everyone's like, where'd Kyle go?
There you go. Well, Kyle Stevenson. I'll stick with that one because that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, that works.
You can just call him Kyle.
Right? Yeah. I've seen you around the internet, but I am not super familiar with you. So, like me, I'm sure there are some people out there who do not know who you are. Who would you say you are and what you do?
Well, I won't go over my name. We've gone over that a whole bunch. But I'm here in Long Island, New York. I've been a long time, from the beginning, kind of funny best friend, and that's really where a lot of people know me from.
Cool.
That community. I helped start Kinda NYC, which was the New York East Coast area best friends, where we would go meet up every other month to like movies or whatever when we weren't locked down from being in a panorama. So now that we were getting more into like the game side of things, we rebranded to 6-1 Indie, where we cover indie games and talk to indie developers and all that kind of fun things. And in addition to that, I co-host PlayStation in the Trophy Room, which is a PlayStation podcast every single week. Talk the latest and greatest in all things PlayStation, which I do with another kind of funny best friend that I met during one of the kind of NYC meetups,
Nice.
actually.
Yeah.
So it's been for 3 long years doing that each and every week. So we have a good time.
Good stuff.
Nice.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
What would you say your favorite video game is?
It's a little bit of a cheap
Uh-oh.
answer because I feel like it's a lot of everyone's favorite, but it's The Last Dance.
Okay.
Fine.
Okay.
It's a good
I-
pick. It's a
I
good
am-
pick.
That's fine.
I'm a PlayStation person from the beginning, from the get-go. Only owned an Xbox One X very briefly for Game Pass reasons, and then I traded in towards my PS5.
Nice.
Ah.
So it's from PS1, PS2, PS3, PSP, Vita, 4, VR. It doesn't matter what PlayStation thing it is. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna play a lot of hours on it.
You
So.
believe
So
that
how much
PlayStation
did
Blue.
you absolutely love the Astrobot game that came with the PS5?
Oh my God.
Man.
Ah.
Oh my
What a
god,
trip.
it's the
Yeah.
best thing. I love
That's
it.
right.
I still go back and play it almost every other week.
Nice.
That's
Just
awesome.
dive in. Those speedrun things,
bet. They're
like
so
the high
fun.
score, they're so addicting. And whenever something like pops up, like, oh, so and so took the lead, you want to reclaim it?
Yeah,
Hell
yeah,
yes,
I'm in
I want
there.
to.
You're playing another
I wanna
another
try
game,
my
you get a
best.
notification, you're like, all right, I'll be back.
Exactly.
Right, Springer, you
Yeah,
like
yeah,
those speedrunning level?
You guys duped me. I was hoodwinked. You said the platinum was
It's
easy
on
and
you.
simple.
It
And
is
I
easy.
I played the game for like 30 hours and beat it, and then went back in for another 30 hours and still wasn't done with that game. And I was just like, screw this. This is dumb. I love this
interesting.
game, but this is dumb.
That's a one of a kind issue.
The Astrobot game on PS5.
Yeah.
That's
I was like,
60 hours?
No.
no,
What?
I've done 6.
What
Oh,
is-
I thought he
what
said
is-
30 and 30. I was like,
What is he?
whoa.
What does he have? What does he
Let's
have?
come
for
on,
that,
we
actually?
hadn't gotten the
Can
platinum.
you
3 and 3,
imagine?
okay.
Can you imagine? Oh my
I've
god.
spent
What does he
60 hours
have
on
in
this
it?
game and I still can't platinum it. God damn it. No, yeah, I wanted to platinum that game. I might still one day, but it was just like, I thought it was only going to be like a 4-hour platinum, and I'm already like 6 hours in, so I know I'm right there. But I was just like, I'm still not there. I hate this.
Chief, you platinumed
See,
Miles Morales, right?
Yes.
breaking news. Kyle
Interesting.
Springer
That's
says he played Astro's Playroom for 6 hours. On his PlayStation account,
Okay.
it says
Oh,
he's
wow.
only played it for a total of 5 hours.
Oh,
Damn.
There you
man,
go.
with the receipts.
Real close.
That's-
I almost had it there. Good for me.
that's crazy.
Just taking a
crazy.
wild
No.
guess of how long I played. 6 hours. You
Put
know?
that on private. Put that on private.
Yeah, I do it right now. Now, Kai,
Yeah.
so you are very into trophies then, since you're
I am.
with your podcast and all. We have a trophy hunter of our own.
Yeah.
We're here.
I know. I heard he doesn't do real well. I saw that whole thing on Twitter.
I
He's got to catch up to somebody.
yeah, who could that be? I want to point
Yeah?
out. I want to point out right now that I am at level 499.
Ooh.
Nice.
I'm
Okay.
about to break the 500. And you can bet I'm going to make a response to Greg where he told me I would, quote, never hit 500.
I'm real close. I'm almost at 5.
Oh, so I'm higher than, I am ahead of Kyle. I'm ahead of him. Well, I'm ahead of both Kyles, but you know.
Oh, well, I think out
That's
of all
not
of us,
saying much.
Springer is the lowest one. We
I-
checked that
I
out
think
the
so.
other day, and I think he was the lowest one.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you can't platinum Astrobot, then
Yeah.
that figures, you know. It makes a lot of sense. You know.
I'm
Touche.
345.
Touche.
I mean, I'm the 4th person in the world with them will be the show 21 platinum.
Oh,
So
wow.
I take trophies very
Are you that
serious.
close?
When I'm in it, I'm
Are you
in
that
it.
close?
No, I've got it.
Oh, you
I'm
got it
done.
already?
He's the
Wow.
The
person.
fourth
Yeah.
person in the world, Alan. Look at
Wow.
that.
Yeah, man. According to PSN profiles,
Wow.
4th in the world.
I mean, I'm working on my near replicant platinum, and wow, side
Yeah.
quests are a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
We could go into what we've been playing with
Yeah.
Yeah.
With you saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go do it. Do
Let's
it.
go in
Or
on
do I
that.
just
Take it away.
Nope.
Alan.
All right. Okay. So yeah. So the good transition. So I have been playing a lot of Nier Replicant this weekend, and not playing the original Nier back in 2010. Man, I have watched so many video essays on Replicant. I'm not saying the title, but I know a lot about this
I
game's
will, don't
history,
worry.
its development, its design choices. And they didn't really change a whole lot. They changed the combat a bit to make it closer to Automata. But this game's design is strange. Like, the map is pretty huge. There's no, at least from where I'm at in the game, being in the second half of the story, there's no fast travel. And this game's side quests and stuff has you running around the map constantly. And there's no fast travel, so it's just kind of mindless running. And you know how, has anyone here played Twilight Princess? How the Hyrule Field was kind of big, open, and not a whole lot going on?
Yeah.
No.
So that's kind of what like Nier's open world is kind of like. There's stuff sprinkled about, but there's not a whole lot going on to really collect or grab or anything else. And the strangest thing is, and this is from the video essays, the game doesn't really give you a full-on tutorial. You actually collect tutorials randomly as you kill enemies or break boxes.
Yeah.
There's an ability called sidestepping. I kept doing this by accident, and I can't look up how to do it until I killed a random enemy, and the game was like, you've unlocked the sidestepping tutorial. Then I could go in the menu and find it, and then it told me how to sidestep officially. And it's really, really strange. But for
Weird.
whatever reason, the game is super addicting to play, despite being kind of awkwardly designed.
No.
Yeah, it's. I've been playing it as well. I could say the full title here, Alan.
No, yeah, go for it.
Near Replicant version 1.222474487139224744871392247448713922474487 So I've been playing that as well, and.
I'm sorry, Gino. What was that one more time? I didn't get the whole thing.
We talk about, if you say the title, you better say the full title of the game from now on.
Deleted it by accident. So I've been playing it as well, and I totally understand what you're saying, Alan. This is obviously this is a dated game.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I didn't play the original version, but when I booted it up and immediately once you do that little beginning part and then you go into the actual game, I immediately fell in love with the vibe of it. The music is one thing that really it draws me into different kinds of games. I really like soundtracks and stuff like that. So this
the music,
one obviously
everywhere you go, the music is top notch.
Yeah, exactly.
Everywhere.
So that's always a great thing to hear when I'm playing. And you said Twilight Princess. It reminded me a lot more like of Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah, that too.
It has that big open field, and you run fast. This is the best thing. The way that you're going around in this game. You run fast.
I feel like rolling constantly is faster than just running.
Mm-hmm. Maybe, yeah. You've played more than me. I've probably played, I think, a total of like 3 hours or something.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I'll look it up really quick.
So I'm still in Act 1, but this game, guys, let me tell you, it is extremely fun. And the entire time that I was playing, I was like, I can't believe that this game is this old, because it doesn't feel like it. I feel like
no, it's not even that old though.
Yeah, no, but like I feel like older than Automata. You know what I mean? It feels it's around that same exact time that Automata came out. Obviously, Automata has the, those quality of life updates. It does have the fast travel. It does have all that other stuff. But it feels just as, the gameplay is not clunky by any means. It's very fast paced. It's very fluid, doing attacks and magic and all that stuff. And it's I was already excited for it, but then playing it just absolutely, solidified all that.
So I'll give you a couple of cool things. So I have played Replicant for 24 hours.
Okay.
So I'm a lot farther. One interesting note, when I was looking through trophies for fun, this game is actually short. There's a trophy for beating the game in 15 hours because the game is fairly short. In terms of the design, Gino, how much do you like that lock-on system?
I don't use it.
You don't use it?
No, I don't use it.
See, I use it. The original Nier never had a lock-on. And also, what if the game is like, you're right, the game is amazing. The themes in it, especially when you get later, Act 1 of the game where you're at, Gino, is honestly probably some of the is the weakest part of the game.
Wow.
It is
that's great to know.
It is the most kind of mundane, not a whole lot going on. It's interesting, but it's the most basic, not interesting part of the game in terms of everything you're kind of doing from the beginning. But in Act 2, it definitely picks up where things get a lot. Once you get to Act 2, you start really feeling the automata, where you get those same feels when you're playing it. In terms of everything else, I didn't know this from playing from action games. Did you know through weird methods there's a Helmbreaker ability where you can slam down enemies, but you can also air launch enemies into the air. But the game never will teach you that anywhere.
Well, you haven't unlocked the tutorial then yet.
No, there is no tutorial for this one. I had to look this up. You actually, it's just a random thing. You have to hit X and do a heavy attack at the same time.
Oh, wow. Easter egg. There you go.
And the last tidbit I'll give you for an Easter egg that's not even part of the story. There's an area in the game where there's this girl singing a song, and the song, if you play an Automata, the song sounds very familiar. But there's a side quest that doesn't even give you a great reward. It just gives you money. But if you do the side quest, it'll have two characters singing the same song in the bar, in one of the bars, and it's a song from Automata. It is literally the same exact song from Automata.
I have another interesting tidbit, actually. The voice actor, the main character that we play, is the voice actor from Demon Hunter, the main character in Demon Hunter. He is like anime.
Oh, yeah.
He is like anime. Tanjiro, I believe his name is. I don't know.
Tanjiro.
Tangerine? I don't know.
Well, yeah, honestly, every main character in Replicant is actually a very, very well-established voice actor. Like, everyone is. Not even just the main character. Like, everybody is.
Yeah, the voice acting is incredible. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
But yeah, that's all I got for Replicant. I'm going to keep playing more. I want to finish this game by Friday when Returnal comes out. So I have to kind of get to work a lot faster on it. So
cool. Me too.
I'd finish it faster if it had a fast travel system, but
there you go. That's what I've been playing. So that's all I've been playing.
I don't have much else. I played the Castle RE8 demo yesterday when it finally unlocked. Like, I played that yesterday, and it just cements my hype for the game. It really does feel like RE4 and 7 had kind of fused together.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
But there wasn't actually anything like huge in the demo. It was just another section of the game, which just cemented how much I love it. And I won't mention the Honorary games. It's just a visual novel game with puzzles because I'm really bad at those.
Mm-hmm.
Puzzle games.
Oh,
the RE8 demo.
Like
no.
I did the Village RE8 demo, and that demo absolutely sold me on that game. Because there was the one scene where you're in the house and then everyone starts attacking each other and then the house goes on fire. No spoilers, obviously, but
yeah, I'm glad you said that. That's what I was thinking.
And then your character dies, and like, it's crazy, dude. Like, I said a spoiler there, but it's not a spoiler.
That's like an SNL character. That's a rejected SNL character. Someone that blurts out the spoilers, that's a spoiler alert afterwards.
You say the entire spoiler? Oh, by the way, spoiler alert. Okay, thanks.
But yeah, I was absolutely sold on that game with that demo. I'm super excited for it.
Yeah. Cool. I haven't played the demos because I'm already sold, so
You're too
I don't
scared.
need to be spoiled.
Yeah, well, Kyle's too scared. Kyle Springer is too scared.
Kyle Springer
I'm
is good.
too scared. No thanks, not for me. Mm-mm.
I mean, also am I.
You're also scared?
Also am I. Also
me.
I am. Also me.
I am as well.
I am scared, but I am gonna play.
Oh.
You're a
Yeah,
braver
like-
man than me.
Like Kai, how well do you handle horror games? Like, are you like real slow? Or are you like, is it the jump scares that freak you out? Is it the tension? Like, what?
It's the tension that gets me, and I've never played a Resident Evil game before this year. And then part of the trophy room, our Patreon, people can vote on what game to do for our Road to Greatness exclusive show, where we play an old game or a new game and give it a trophy level, depending on what we feel like it. And they voted on Resident Evil 4.
Yes.
And I was forced to play it, and that game is fun, but not nearly as scary as I thought.
No, RE4 is definitely the beginning
Patreon.
of derailing from like true horror. But all right, yeah. Cool.
Yeah, and then I have played 7 because I wanted to play as Ethan going into
8.
Village.
Yeah.
And that basement in 7 is, oh my god, the scariest thing I've ever played through.
And also
It's
7 is the
intense.
least connected to the other games, so you'll be fine. Have just played.
Yeah, sure.
And if I wanted to support you on Patreon, where would that be?
I believe it's patreon.com/PS Trophy Room.
There you go.
Yeah, that's right. Let's go. All right.
On that.
If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm sorry, Joe.
The one person that should know.
I know, right? Let me just double check. This is on me.
Go. Well, while you are checking on that, Ignacio, what have you been playing?
Yo. So I have 2 games to talk about this week. The first one is Emily is Away 3. So I don't know if...
Yes.
So have you guys played it? Or played any of the Emily is Away?
I
Have you
have
seen
not, no.
any gameplay of it?
I watched people play like the first Emily is Away, I think.
I used to do a lot of AIM in high school.
Nice. So
No, you did
you should
not.
be
I'm
great at
older
it.
So
than
I
you.
probably played it, yeah.
You should be great at Emily is Away 1.
Middle school, actually. Middle school, yeah, not high school.
Yeah,
my God.
I just played Emily's Way 3 as well,
Oh,
and
nice.
we had the developer Kyle Seeley on for a developer interview on 6-1 Indie.
Another
Kyle to throw in the wrench.
Yeah. So if you do not know, the main, let's call it, gimmick of the Emily's Way games is that it all takes place in this, either for the first one it was like AIM or an AIM clone at least, and this one is through Facebook or Facebook as they call it in the game. So talking about this game, it is, again, everything takes place in this Facebook interface, which is like Facebook, which means you have a wall, you have statuses, you friend people, you have your chat. And so that's how everything unfolds. So it starts with you creating your profile, and then your friend Matt friends you on it. So then he pops up in the chat. And so you start talking about, oh, hey, you created your profile, and your profile looks barren, or that photo of you looks cool. And so it all unfolds, the story unfolds all through chat, which means that you have, say, Matt talks to you, and then they give you 3 options to reply. And so one of the things that help immersing you in the story is that you pick one of the answers, but you have to type it in. You do not have to type it in like word for word, but you can just mash your keyboard and then press enter. But that greatly helps with immersing you. And so eventually more characters start popping up, which are your friends from school, because you are playing as a high school you. You get to choose their name. I choose my name, so I'm kind of role playing like me, but a different person of me, a very different version of me. And so more friends start popping up, of course, because of the name of the game. Emily is one of those friends. And so the whole story is about you dealing with these relationships. Like one of the early decisions that you have to make is whether you go to Emily's party or you go to your friend Evelyn's party. And so since all this is immersive, you have to talk to them both first because they are your friends, and then eventually they'll both invite you to their parties. And so you go to their profiles, or actually to the page of the party, and you choose whether I'll assist or I won't or maybe. And so I chose to go with Emily's party because I'm, of course, hoping to build a relationship with her. So I picked the Emily option, and then the game takes place in chapters, which are basically different days, not necessarily concurrently, but between chapters there is an amount of time that passes through. So chapter 1 was the introduction and choosing the party, which party you will go, and then the second chapter, it is later after the party, and so you get,
I believe it's the seasons. They take around every new season is like a new chapter. I think it's fall, winter,
I think
spring, summer.
Maybe I haven't actually noticed that. I know that it's different days, but I don't think it is seasons, because I'm in chapter 3 and I don't think it has been 3 seasons.
Well, I think it's around Christmas time and then spring. I definitely, the last chapter is
Because I think
right before college or during summertime.
the first one is about to be Halloween. No, that the second one is about to be Halloween party. The third one is December 28th. So, well, so time passes, and then you get to, Emily starts talking to you, and you talk about how the party was great, and Matt took a picture of you and Emily together, and he posts that in your wall saying, I see what you did there, because you're getting closer to Emily. And then Evelyn starts talking to you, and she's like, hey, you've been distant. You went to Emily's party, but you told me that you would come to my party, and then I saw that you put a maybe in my party. Like, why didn't you pop up? And so that's basically the game. It's
Interesting.
an interactive story, which I think does a great job immersing you. Again, it takes place in this Facebook interface. Facebook, you chat with people, and having to type up your message really helps you with that. And also, sometimes people will say, like, for example, hey, check out these music playlists that I built, and they'll send you a link, and it's a link to this fake YouTube called YouTube, but with, instead of a U, 2 O's. And so you go there, and it's basically YouTube, but since everything is taking place like in 2008, it's like the 2008 version of YouTube. And so you can go there, or you have to take this relationship quiz when you eventually get a girlfriend. And it does all these things
Interesting.
to immerse you in this story.
Now, Ignacio, I have a question if I could interject since you just said the word girlfriend. For us singles out there, is this a good game to learn how to talk to girls?
Sure, but you have to take into account that they are already your friends, and so
Okay.
Also, this is like high school, so it's
yeah.
very much like extra vowels in the words, and
Interesting.
extra
Emojis
exclamation
and
points and all
stuff
that
like
stuff.
that,
yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay.
it is
Yeah.
you choosing. They give you 3 options, but basically the option is like a yes, but like an effusive yes, or like a maybe option, or like a no option. It is you, and those then branch you out
Hey
through
with
different.
2
options.
Ys or hey with 3 Ys.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Big difference there.
Right.
Big difference.
And like going off what Ignacio was saying, I love this game. This is the first one I played. I watched Kind of Funny play the first 2, and that's kind of how I
those are
knew
great.
him. And I dove in when I was like, because we had Kyle doing an interview, and I was upset because I didn't get to finish the game before talking to him, so I kind of hopped in. And the way that he immerses a player is by actually tactile typing in the answers and having them go through, and just and expanding on those options too. It's not like you hit one and it is a hey. No, it's a hey, how are you? Like there's extra dialogue to it, and clicking on those playlists and having the old school nostalgic music that I had when I was in high school playing as I'm talking to these girls, which is what I was doing in high school, going into college and having to tab between different conversations. And like what I tell you, no joke, how hard I fell in love with this Emily girl. It's because of how immersed he makes you in that game. And spoiler alert, my heart was broken, and it felt like my heart was broken. Like, it was a real relationship that I was broken up with.
Well,
that's how well the dialogue. There are options, like there is a branching path at the end, so I could have maybe made it work. But the last conversation, I got a little too angry, and because I was way too trusting, and I shouldn't have been.
You sent 3 Ys instead of 2, and that didn't work out.
Yeah.
That didn't
And
work.
it's also that Emily has the thing. I don't know if Evelyn, because you could also play it and do the Evelyn side of things. Emily has the thing like you can never say bye. So there'll always there's always an option to say bye, but if you do, she gets really mad at you.
Wow.
'Cause she's not into
She
goodbye,
doesn't like
so you gotta
goodbye,
have to.
so yeah, you have to take
I
that
get
into
it.
account.
I get it though.
And guess what she says in the last convo?
I get it though, because saying
Bye,
goodbye,
Kyle. And
saying goodbye is the
felt it.
hardest. Goodbyes are tough.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that there's like for example, there's these other instance where a character tells you something about your friend that it's kind of like your friend did something to this other person, but you kind of do not want to believe it, and you're supposed to keep it a secret. And so then you're talking to this other person, and the game keeps giving you the option to bring it up. And so you have to be conscious about what you say and what ramifications it will end, because this other person told you their side of the story, but you do not know if your friend actually did that or not. And a bit of a spoiler alert, if you go enough through it and you commit to not talking about it with other people, you'll discover that your friend might have not actually have done anything wrong. Like it was just kind of misunderstood. But the game kept giving you the option to like gossip about it.
Yeah.
And so you have to be really conscientious about what you're saying, because you are building relationships with these people. And so like what happened to Kyle, it could end like any other relationship. It could end depending on what you say. And also I love...
And it does a really...
Oh, sorry, go.
Yeah, it does a really good thing, like in the background too. Like it is the old school Facebook wall where it wasn't just people's pages. You can see what everyone does to everyone else. And if you're really paying attention, you can see these other side characters that are impacting your other relationships with other people pop up in pictures. And like writing on other people's walls, but you can't see it because you have to friend them. And if you friend them, that could make that the person you're in a relationship with distrust you. Like, why are you being nosy?
I'm no
there
longer
are
in-
these really
in
cool.
your top 8 on MySpace. How could you?
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, that's he. I think I asked him that question in the interview, why he went from AIM to Facebook and just left out MySpace, and he just said like Facebook was just more nostalgic for him.
That makes sense.
So that's why he missed it. But like MySpace would have been awesome.
Yeah.
What's the second?
Do the whole top 8 thing and whatever. That'd be
What's
cool.
the second one? Aim to? Cannot remember.
AIM, yeah, it was AIM too.
But yeah, and also I love
Interesting.
one of the things that I love is that of course the title is Emily is Away, which is a reference to the first game, which since it takes place in AIM, basically getting an Emily is Away can be like your game over, because you did bad stuff with her, and getting an Emily is Away could be a game over screen. But yeah, I love that they keep. There's always an Emily there.
There's
There's
always a
an Emily
lighthouse.
that you can have.
There's always an Emily.
There's always a lighthouse. Exactly.
There's always an Emily. There's always a Josh. There's always a Kyle.
There's always like. Yeah.
Good stuff.
But yeah, that's it with the game. I think that I highly recommend it to people that especially like this kind of storytelling and immersive storytelling.
Absolutely, and just to experience his own version of YouTube, like that's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's not just music playlists; they have like Chocolate Rain on the side,
nice.
or that wedding party video where they're coming down the aisle dancing the Chris
Yeah.
Brown that I have not thought of forever,
Yeah.
but it was on the
Oh,
sidebar.
that's so cool.
Like some really classic YouTube videos.
And also,
on there.
one of the things that the characters do is that since it takes place in 2008, they make references to things going on in 2008. Like, they talk about movies or bands, not just made up bands or movies. It's actually real stuff from the
That's
from
cool.
the time. So it
Yeah.
really
Man.
Like advertisements for like the dog hotel,
Yeah.
hotel for dogs on the,
oh,
on
the
the
voice-
side.
yeah.
Well,
There's also like a Greg Miller reference in there too. If you type in Game Over Greggy and like the secret, something pops
Oh,
Oh,
up.
I didn't know that.
So like or kind of funny or something.
What
Like, yeah,
about-
there's a
Yeah.
lot of hidden
2008.
secrets there.
what about Two Girls, One Cup?
I was 15.
That's not YouTube, Gino.
I was
That's so
15.
YouTube, yeah.
We're talking about it.
We're
in
Talking
YouTube.
about it
2008.
nonetheless.
I was 10.
Gino, just go like we're gonna talk about MLB the Show. Gino, you go look that video up. You know, since you're thinking about it, I guess.
A live
Yeah.
react on a podcast.
Yeah.
Great.
So that was one of the games I highly recommend people go play it on.
That's cool.
It's actually, all three games are actually pretty cheap, right? So
On
there's-
Steam? Is it on Steam?
Yeah, on
Is
Steam.
it- Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Cool.
So highly recommend.
And they're all standalone.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to play the first
Yeah, yeah.
one to play the second
Yeah.
and third one.
And the other game that I played that I wanted to bring up was Portal Reloaded. So Portal Reloaded is, I believe it is a fan made game. I don't know if you need Portal 2 to actually play it, but you can, at least you can go to Steam and get the game for free.
Interesting.
And so I'm guessing all of you have played Portal, or at least know the basic concept of Portal, which is you are in these test rooms, there are challenges, and you have to use your portal gun, 2 portals, to fight, basically solve every puzzle. So what Portal Reloaded does is that it adds an extra dimension of complexity by adding a third portal, which is a time portal. So they add this time portal, which lets you go in between this current timeline, which is like Abstergo at its pristinest, widest, cleanest, all that, and then the other timeline is the future timeline, which is all dilapidated, all destroyed, kind of like in Portal 2, if you
That's
played that
interesting.
game.
Yeah.
And so the puzzles have you not only playing with portals, but also playing with time. And I love how the game has its own time travel rules. For example, you can have, if you have a cube in the present, I mean, say a place X, that cube would also, if you go to the future, will still be in that one place. But if you move the cube in the past, that will affect, of course, the cube in the future. It would also move. But if you move it in the future, it will not affect the past. Or if you cannot take your cube from the present to the future, but you can take a cube from the future to the past. And so with all those rules, you have to play and how, hey, I know that I can take, if I take the cube from the future to the past, I can have now 2 cubes in the past. But I have to take into account that I cannot move the cube from the present, because if I do that, the cube from the past will disappear and go back to the future because of
That's interesting.
causality. And so it is.
That
if you
sounds
thought
really
that,
cool.
Portal and Portal 2 were mind bending. This will fuck with your mind in a different level. It is. I love Portal 1 and 2. This Portal game had me more stressed by far than the other Portal games with its added time feature.
Dang, I had no idea this existed.
I don't.
Me neither. I just saw.
I don't play puzzles.
On
Alan,
Alan.
fuck out of here.
I just saw on Twitter that Barrett mentioned that he was gonna. Barrett from Kinda Funny mentioned that he was gonna play something called Portal Reloaded.
Uh-huh.
I had no idea. I had never heard of it, and so I went to Steam and I saw it and played it, and I love it. It's more Portal, which Valve will not give us. So I'm
Right,
glad that
yeah.
at least someone did something for it.
That's
All
cool.
right.
Portal 3,
Yeah.
that's what I want.
Is this the same mod that you can also play it in VR?
I don't know, to be honest.
Because I know there's a Portal 2 mod where you can play Portal in VR, which
Ooh.
sounds
That
insane.
sounds dope too.
God, then
I
you
don't
go through those portals that just keep making you drop rapidly. They have to bounce in VR.
Yeah.
Oh my
Oh.
god.
That would
Mhm.
Oh, you throw
I
it.
You
would
would have
throw
to.
up. That'd be awful.
like your ceilings for VR have to be
Hey,
very developed.
Hey, I played Portal 2 co-op with my significant other because I can't solve it on my own. I need a second brain to help me through it.
Yeah.
You would have such a hard time with
That's
Portal Reloaded.
exactly.
It makes it even more complicated. But yeah, if you like those games and you want another Portal game, I highly recommend it. It is of a very high quality. Although I do have to say I haven't played much of it, and so I'm 10 chambers in from I don't know how many, but there's many more. And for now, it is pretty basic Portal writing, let's call it, where you will have this AI voice, making remarks in the beginning of the chamber and once you finish the chamber, but it's not like GLaDOS, which of course starts kind of like that, but then it keeps evolving into more of a villain, which I do not know if the game actually has that or not, but at least for now, on that regard, it is basic Portal writing, but in every other regards, on basically level structure, it is the Portal,
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah.
I haven't been playing much. I don't really have much to say. I've been playing Fall Guys this week, and that's about it. I am waiting for Pokemon Snap and Returnal, so I'm just trying to chill out and relax and not burn myself out on video games.
See,
Nice.
next we get.
How you liking the new season?
And next,
I like it a lot. I think I'm about halfway through the battle pass right now, though I didn't buy the battle pass, so I've just been playing it. But yeah, it's a good mix. I enjoy it a lot. I liked that the sci-fi cyberpunk stuff because that
Yeah.
Doesn't
I
it
love
doesn't
that
it have the new
stuff.
update where you can actually kind of squat up and even if you get knocked out, if your friend
Yeah,
survives?
yes.
Yeah, it does have
Yeah, yeah.
squads now, which I haven't gotten to try out.
You haven't tried that
but-
yet?
Mm-mm. But
Yeah, I have a couple weeks ago. It's kind of cool. It's like you get points depending on how fast you finish.
Yeah.
And if you finish, and then as it pulls them together, and
Oh.
it eliminates the place.
Oh, that's
in
cool.
team
Okay,
play
okay.
points.
So even if all
yeah.
of you can still get knocked out, but if you still have more points overall, then you still make it. And
Correct.
Nice. See,
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I know people wanted that
Uh,
because with people playing it, they're all good at it now, so it's really easy to just get knocked out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
And for the trophy too.
And yeah,
I think
yeah,
it's a big
well,
benefit for
of
that
course.
one.
but yeah, because what is it? It's the one where you have to win 5 leagues in a row.
5 in a row.
God, that was the sole reason.
I got
That
it.
was the sole
I got it the
reason
old
I
school
did
way.
not play Fall Guys. I was like, I don't play multiplayer stuff.
Yeah,
I'm not.
I
I'm
never
not
won.
about that.
Never won one.
You've
I
never
never
won?
even played it.
Because if you start playing it, you will go all the way through
I
until
don't
you get the
know.
platinum.
I still
Hey,
haven't
I tough through the
gotten
witness. If I
Crown.
I'll play a bad
by
game, I'll
myself.
still do it. I will.
A bad game.
I've gotten the ones that you unlock from the
No,
battle
I know.
pass and stuff.
I know.
I still haven't gotten a crown the normal way.
Witness?
I've almost
The wit.
Well, we need to squad up. I'll get you some crowns.
That would be good. That would be good.
Oh!
I have the platinum in Fall Guys. We can do this.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
good.
See, now I might have to play Fall Guys just so Kyle can carry me.
There we go.
It's
Let's do it.
fun.
You
It's a
carry
lot
you
of
to the
fun.
platinum.
It's a good game.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
I'll get the plat. It'll be like platinum number whatever. Like, only got this thanks to Kai. Thank you. And then it'll be like, thank you.
Good game indeed.
Oh, maybe. I'm mad I didn't get it when it was free because now I have to pay for it.
You didn't download it when it was on
Damn.
PlayStation
Did you not
Plus?
have Plus?
I just, I can't speak
you
for
did.
past Alan's mistakes. He made mistakes. I can't vouch for him now.
You always add the game
Always
to your
add to
library.
Yeah.
Even if you're never going to
Even
play it, you
if
always
even
add
if
it.
it's a random
I
game you do
really
not
wish
know
I
you
could
added.
delete the witness from my library, but I can't.
Oh God, Ollie, you
I
have to
can't
stop.
take this slander.
Dude, he's been
To stop.
on this for like the past 3 weeks, being like, "This is the worst game ever. Who likes The Witness? It's
I had
terrible."
somebody at work. I told them that game was free. They downloaded the weekend. They played it on Monday. I asked them, I was like, "How's The Witness?" They go, "Oh, I love that game." I was like, "All right, I'm leaving this conversation."
Yeah.
Yeah, that stuff. There you go. Kyle, what else have you been playing?
Yeah, so like we mentioned before, also it is patreon.com/PS Trophy Room.
Good.
I nailed that one. And I do want to correct myself earlier. I said I was in the 490s trophy levels. I am not. I'm in 430s. I'm close to 90 platinums. That's where I got them mixed
Jesus.
up.
I see.
But yeah, I've been playing MLB The Show 21 a whole lot. It has a ton of flaws in it. It's not exactly the next gen experience I wanted from it,
Oh.
but it's still, I consider the show to be one of the best sports games year in, year out.
Yeah.
It's a shame that it's never nominated for Sports Game of the Year at the Game Awards. I think it should be.
That's interesting.
It's always NBA and then
Okay.
2 racing games and then some other
FIFA or
Like more like
Something.
smaller sports game style.
yeah, and maybe NBA every once in a while too,
Yeah.
but never the show. And I wonder if
No,
that's just because a lot of people outside of America don't play baseball or know baseball. So I think that takes into account like where the weighting goes for votes. But and with this, it's really really good. The soundtrack's awesome. The Diamond Dynasty is in every single mode in some way. So you level up, you gain stubs, you then can buy packs, and it's virtual cards that aren't worth 6 figures. But you use those cards and make your own team and play against other people, which is really, really cool. My favorite mode in those games is Road to the Show, which is the career mode. That's why I play sports games, is to do the career mode. And the show has the best one where you get drafted to either a team of your choice or you can leave it up to random, and then you have to make your way through the minor leagues and get called up to the majors, and then just enjoy your career and try to break records and make the Hall of Fame one day. It's really, really great. It is very grindy this year. They took out the option to carry over your player from year to year because that's what you used to be able to do. But they took that out because they're using a thing called My Ball Player, which is where you create a central player, and then you can use that player in Diamond Dynasty and Road to the Show, and you can also pitch and hit. You can be a 2-way player for the first time ever, which is cool, but I miss having my already established player that's already in the major leagues, but now I have to grind through it all over again, and even then the tracking on like the challenges is broken, and you don't always get credit for it, so it's really hard to level up. But it's still the show. It's still Sony San Diego. It's a quality product. But
So
you know,
Kyle, I want to ask 2 things about MLB. I have a friend that wants me to play a sports game, and he said I can pick it. Yeah, like I never played any sports game like Madden or any of those. You say that this like MLB this one has a lot of flaws in it. Like, is this a good jumping on point for someone like me who's never played any of them? Like, are the flaws that bad that maybe this isn't the good starting spot? Like, go back to the prior one or wait for the next one?
So I do think it's up to what you make of it.
Okay.
So like, if you want a pure simulation of the sport, like as real life as possible, then you could play it as it is. But they do have ways where you can bump the sliders so you can just hit home runs every at bat if you wanted to, and make it easier to hit or easier to catch and run.
Yeah.
They also have this really cool thing called a retro mode, where you can play an entire franchise, I believe an entire franchise in that mode, and it plays like the old school Ken Griffey baseball on N64. It's literally just one button to pitch, one button to swing, and you can move your player around in the box, and it has the retro graphics and home run sounds
awesome.
and overlays and everything. So it is very friendly in that regards, but it's more in line with like a super sim based.
So this would be like a good game. Like this would be a great one to jump on.
Especially if you have Game Pass, why not?
I don't. I don't have Game. Oh.
Also, it's
But
in Game Pass.
now my other important question is how BS are the like if I get it, how BS are the trophies?
Oh, this year's is the best.
It's
very doable. There's no online modes. You don't have to play against anybody. There are a lot of trophies that can stack if you want to rig the system and do a.
He's like, I like those words.
Like I'm a Mets fan, so I played my Mets versus a AA minor league team, the worst in the league.
all right.
And like I did it no problem in one game. The only grindy thing is Road to the Show, where you do have to get up to the majors, get called to the majors.
Okay, that's
the only really long one.
Okay.
That's all Alan needed to hear.
I'm just saying,
That's
I'm
the one thing she needed
scoping
to
them out because
make
my
that
friend,
fine.
I'm making my friend play RE7 completely, and he told me that he's gonna I gotta play a sports game, but now I'm allowed to pick the one I want to play, and I think I got an idea what one to play now.
Cool.
There you go. Yeah.
Plus, if I was gonna play any like real life sport, I really like baseball.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Disc
It's
golfing.
awesome.
No,
Oh, that'd be a good game.
but I mean,
I would play
oh
that
yeah,
game.
well, I mean,
I would
it's,
go for
you know,
Mario Strikers. But Kai, so
Yeah.
for you personally, if you had to compare it to the last MLB, would you say that this is a step up, a step down, or a sidestep?
Well, not carrying
It-
over would be
It's pretty much just like the same level.
Okay.
It's like
That's
a
fair,
sidestep.
yeah.
So, but I don't see that as a negative. I see that as it being the first game on a next gen system, as well as on a brand new ecosystem.
Yeah.
So like there are going to be road bumps, but I have no doubt they'll fix them because Sony San Diego is super talented. So I have no doubt they'll be fixed in due time.
So
Yeah,
they
because
pretty much
that's-
had like their generational bumps, but instead of trying to really push it right away, they just kept what's great.
Yeah, I mean, like the players don't really look all that different. Like the lighting and stuff is what really blows me away by the next gen. But it's and like with the DualSense, like I was hoping for more from the haptics.
Yeah.
But it really only rumbles when you get like a perfect timing to let you know you really got to hold of the ball. But that's really it. But yeah, it's on par with what they usually are, maybe a little less, just because of some like instability issues with servers and whatnot. But I have no doubt next year's is they're gonna fix everything.
Yeah.
I turned the adaptive trigger function off.
Oh no, you better fix that for Returnal.
Yeah.
And I put the vibration on weak.
They're one of
Oh
those
man.
Are you even playing games?
yeah, I still
people. You're
play
one of
them.
those people. So yeah, that's what I've heard from people that
I also
it
like
is
it.
an improvement.
I also like inverted controls if you wanted to really hate on it. So you know.
God.
Oh
God.
my god! Just hook up my keyboard and mouse and be
Yeah,
experience.
it needs to repeat
What
it
are
with
we
an
doing?
Nvidia
That's what
mouse
we're gonna hear
on
next.
a PS5. Yeah.
I don't play PC. Sorry.
So yeah, back to MLB. That's one of the things that I've heard that it isn't the step up that people were expecting with the next generation part of it. So I do wonder if it has to do with being next generation and the hurdles that can come from that, or if it has something to do with them having to expand it to other platforms. Because something that we know that exclusive games tend to be better visually, mechanically, because developers can focus on one simple platform. So I do wonder if it was indeed the fault of it going to Xbox and PC, or if it was a generational thing.
I definitely think there's a little bit of that going to Xbox being an issue, but it's also I think more of sports games are annualized. They have to come out every single year, so I think that is what the issue was with it.
Cool.
Stay like that, Alan.
Sorry, Alan's sitting on the couch.
Stay like that. Stay like that.
messing
Alan.
with
That
me
was
a
good.
little bit.
Yeah.
He has to have his mic next.
yeah.
next
The
to
last
him,
thing
though.
for me, how's that new pitching mechanic? I think it is, right? The yada.
Oh, the pinpoint
Yeah.
pitching thing. I suck at it, so I don't use
Okay.
it. It's you actually have to like use the right stick and trace out the outline for the pitch, and it's not fun to me, so I just don't use it. Yeah.
All right.
And then the last game that I played was a game from a couple years ago, but it was free on the Epic Game Store last week. It's called The First Tree, and I'm a big proponent of sad boy games. I like to feel emotions while playing games, and this is 100% one of those games. There is video of me crying at the end of this game on Twitter.
Yeah.
It's only 2.5 hours long, 3 tops. You play as you're controlling a fox, as a man is telling his wife stories about his father. And you come to find out as you're playing that your father has passed away, and you're really second guessing everything that you did in that relationship. And as you're playing, the fox is uncovering her cubs who are dead, and you get to the end of the game, and I don't want to spoil it because it is a quick game, and I think it's only $2 on PlayStation, no platinum, so it's a bit of a bummer. I would play it again for that, but
Don't worry, Minesweeper on PlayStation has no platinum either.
But it is it does a journey-like twist at the end that really I did not see coming, where there's a message on a tree, and that message is actually written by another player.
Oh.
Wow.
That has gone through that same journey, and
That's interesting.
it's not like, I love boobs or something corny and jokey. It's actually like the developer, because I watched a video of him talking about it. He actually goes through and has to approve every single message in order for it to populate the game world.
Oh.
Wow.
And mine was like so hard hitting and so thoughtful and loving
Oh wow.
that I was like, oh damn, wow, it's super cool. And the length of the message is actually tied to how many pieces of light you collect while playing the game.
Wow.
So if you play this game and just go straight to the objectives and don't pick up anything, you can't leave a message.
Wow.
Or if you only pick up a few, you have to have like enough letters to fit whatever you.
Which works because like the more emotional of a message you leave, you have to spend
Exactly.
more time in that world.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, so it's super super great. I highly recommend it.
Or
It's
the
fantastic.
first
Alright.
tree. First.
Yeah.
The first tree. Yeah.
Good to know.
Nice.
Good to know.
Well, damn, Kyle's making me want to get the first tree and selling me on my first sports game. Damn.
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 There we go.
MLB The Show.
Well, I think that about
Love
wraps
to
us
see
up
it.
for what we've been playing this week. So let's get into a little bit of housekeeping. If you did not know, we have multiple podcasts here at the Whatnauts. You guys can find out more information on our website, which is thewhatnauts.com, as well as your favorite podcasting platform of choice. Just type in the Whatnauts and all of our shows will pop up right there. If you like what we do, patreon.com/thewhatnauts is where you can support us for as little as $1 a month. We have a $3 tier with all kinds of exclusive content. We recently updated our 2021 video game fantasy draft. So that is up there at the $3 tier. Be on the lookout though, because we are trying to plan out our next one. And I think what we're going to be doing is making bingo cards for the review show, which is one of our other podcasts. It's a weekly book club style show. But we're going to be filling these bingo cards up with all sorts of different comic book and movie tropes. So as we watch and raid stuff on that show, we can start filling out these bingo cards and stuff. And I think that'll be a lot of fun. So be on the lookout for that down the road too. And a big shout out to our Patreon supporters at the $5 tier and above. So thank you, Sam, and thank you to Greg Miller, who has been supporting us. We love you all, and we appreciate it a lot. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sam, and thank you, Greg.
Indeed. Last but not least, we are normally live streaming on Twitch each Wednesday, Friday night, and Sunday afternoon. Since we are recording this on a Sunday afternoon, I decided to not do my stream there. So I've been slacking on my Sunday streams, but we are usually playing some games on Wednesday nights and Sunday afternoons, and then we do one of our podcasts on Fridays. So you guys can go check us out at twitch.tv/the Whatnauts. And you guys can subscribe to our channel there. And if you have Amazon Prime, you also have Twitch Prime. All you have to do is link your accounts, which is super simple, and then you get a free subscription to give out each month. And we'd love that to be us here at the Whatnauts, because that means we can make bigger and better content for you down the road, which would be sweet. So there you go. There you go. But with that, let's get on to the news of the week.
All right, my friends, we have been heard. We have been saved. And we have been redeemed. Sorry, I screamed too loud there. Number one, PS3 and the Vita stores are not dead yet. In a staggering turn of events, Sony has decided to allow the PS3 and Vita online stores to live another day. On the other hand, the PSP store will still be executed violently on July 2nd, 2021 as planned. And this comes from Jim Ryan over at the PlayStation blog. He said, when we initially came to the decision to end purchasing support for PS3 and PS Vita, it was born out of a number of factors, including commerce support, challenges for older devices, and the ability for us to focus more of our resources on newer devices where a majority of our gamers are playing on. We see now that many of you are incredibly passionate about being able to continue purchasing classic games on PS3 and PS Vita for the foreseeable future. So I'm glad we were able to find a solution to continue operations. I'm glad that we can keep this piece of our history alive for gamers to enjoy while we continue to create cutting-edge new game worlds for PS4, PS5, and the next generation of VR. So, Kai, I know that you are a very huge supporter of physical media. So when they first announced that digital stores were going down, I assume this didn't affect you that much. But how do you feel that they rolled back on that instead, that they heard the audience and actually decided to do something about it?
I think it's awesome that they were listening.
Yeah.
I think that's the big takeaway, is that they were listening to the outrage over it, and decided to switch it up. I, on one hand, was okay with them closing down, because of how little they're just supported now anyway. And from a game preservation standpoint, it would be nice to just have them there at all times. But I'm trying to think of, like, we're living in a time where this is new, where we have digital stores that have, like, digital goods, and eventually they're going to close.
Yeah.
They're not going to stay open forever.
Right, yeah.
I still think these stores are going to close within the next 2 years, I would imagine. Because even in this statement, right, Jim's saying, like, oh, we left them open, but we would have really loved to use this on new and exciting things. The money to, like, very, like, backhanded kind of comment in this. Yeah. But I love that the Vita gets a little bit more life, and those games that were being made for the Vita are hopefully back on. I know Scourgebringer just came out on the Vita, which is a great game. Waiting for that physical collector's edition to finally be made. But I think it's cool that they listen, first and foremost. Also happy I didn't have to spend a whole lot of money very quickly to get whatever PlayStation classics on Vita that I missed. The PS3 one, I don't care nearly as much as the Vita one. Yeah. Just because I haven't had a PS3 for over a decade now. Yeah. So.
Yeah. The prices did, to your point, it is wild that the prices did increase with the announcement of the stores closing, and so now they'll just be forced to go back down. But it is wild that this is happening, because we talked about it a couple of weeks ago with that Reddit AMA from a former Sony employee, how at least for the PS Vita, at first the PS Vita, since it wasn't a success, it was whatever for Sony. Sony was just happy having it as passive form of income, but after the software was cracked, that's when they got it flipped and they got set on killing it. So I'm surprised to see Sony actually responding like that to people that were loud on their criticism about how those stores were closing, even though I'm sure those stores don't get nearly as close as much traction as 5 years ago, whatever. And so good on them. It is probably a good faith move from them, being like, hey, we hearing you, but yeah, I do agree that probably in a couple of years this will happen again.
I just want like an actual firm date, kind of like what Nintendo did with the Wii U, the Wii eShop. All right, they're like they're ending on this date, so get whatever you can on this, and it was like a full year.
Yeah,
it wasn't a couple months like PlayStation had previously. I think that would be smart.
Yeah, I think that's where there was a lot of consternation, was that it was such a short notice. So if they do, a month from now or 2 months from now, then say, all right, the PS3 and the Vita store are going to be up for one more year, so enjoy it while you can or whatever. I think if they originally did that, there wouldn't have been so much outrage.
Agreed.
So the fact that the most important part here is that it seems like they are listening, even though I'm always saying that they think, I know what you want, not you guys, so the fact that they actually listen to that means that, maybe sometimes they're not entirely sure what the audience wants. And it's good of them to sort of realize that. So, Kyle, Allen, any thoughts on this store coming back? You guys are going to buy a Vita or what?
No, not buying a Vita.
No. Yeah. I haven't owned a Vita for a while. I still want to buy the Aqua, like Japan Vita, which if I ever work a lot of overtime, I'll probably buy it. I'm kind of the opposite of Kai. I actually still have my PS3, and I it's gonna be a funny story. Like, I was going back, my friend was like going through my own trophies because he's also a hunter, and I noticed I don't have Devil May Cry 3's platinum for the PS3, and it's a separate list. So that actually made me kind of invested to like go back and buy the game or have it again for my PS3.
Interesting.
But even if I'm being honest, like, even when I'm kind of the same. Like, when they announced this news, I honestly didn't care, and then when they announced that it was gonna still stay alive, I also kind of didn't care. But I think the reason it's just nice is, even if I never buy anything for the PS3 or a Vita when I buy one, it's nice to have that option for whenever you have that itch to go back and be like, you know what? Yeah. I want to play a game that's not on the PS4 or PS5 that is only available here, or play a game on the go. It's nice having that option no matter what, and then knowing that someday it'll go away. That's what's upsetting, is that you won't have the option. Even if you don't buy it, you want the option to be there.
I think that's one of the reasons for the outcry. I mean, Gino, you said that Sony kind of acts some way in sometimes that they know what you want, not you. I think that one of the reasons that there was an outcry was that what Alan was bringing up, that people want to know that it is still there for them if they want to go back, even though probably a good amount of those people do not use those platforms, haven't done that in a while. People just want to know that it will be there just in case they want to go back, because that's one of the reasons I still have my PS1, PS2, PS3, PS Vita even, that I bought if I just out of nowhere want to use them.
Yeah.
To add one last remark on it, it's also the fact that Sony keeping even the PS3 and Vita stores alive still nets them some money, where if they close those down, any physical games for those consoles that people want to buy, as you mentioned, the prices skyrocketed, then people will still eventually pay higher prices, or prices somewhere else that aren't going to Sony for these things. So it's still right now worth it to keep it open, because they'll still make money on it.
Yeah.
But I foresee PlayStation doing like Kai mentioned and you guys mentioned about, Sony's going to come out and say, hey, the stores are going to go away. And I could see it where they're like doing the Wii U thing, as you said, where, hey, January 1st, 2022, loose example, it's going to be gone. So you have the rest of the year to get what you want.
All right.
I feel like that will happen sooner rather than later.
And
It's just a shame that like I personally love PlayStation Now. I think there's a lot of good to that. It definitely needs a whole lot of work. Don't get me wrong. And there's a lot of really good PS3 stuff on there, but there's not everything. Like there's only Resistance 3, Resistance 1 and 2 are not on PS
Which
Now.
is weird.
The Infamous, it is very weird. The Infamous games are on PS Now, but like they don't run all that great because you have to stream them. You can't download them. So I think these stores might be open even if it's not a year or two until they have whatever their answer is to Game Pass and backwards compatibility.
Yeah.
Like I would love for Sony to come out at like the E3, whatever their presentation is, and like I've just been calling it, here's the PlayStation Museum.
Yeah.
It's a service. Just go in and go down the PS1 wing and play all these games that made PlayStation. And then there's PS2, PS3, PSP, and Vita. Like,
Damn.
PlayStation has such a strong lineage and of great games that need to be, that a lot of people don't know about.
Exactly.
And so I think that's the one thing I think is missing from PlayStation. I don't really care for a Game Pass competitor. I want that backwards compatibility stuff.
Yeah.
And Sony used to be so into backwards compatibility. The PS2 was fully backwards compatible with the PS1 and the PS3. At least the first models played PS1 and PS2 games. So it wasn't until the PS4 that there was no backwards compatibility. So yeah, I miss that. I mean, there are a lot of PS3 games, PS2 games, PS1 games that I would love to play, but even though I have the consoles, I have the means, it would be so much more convenient to having those be in my PS5 easily playable.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of it's because the PS3 had such a complicated.
Yeah.
I forget what it is. It had such a complicated like development
Architecture.
Yeah, the architecture
cell
of the PS3
processor.
was so complicated. Like that's what made it so tough.
That's what makes it so hard to emulate. Even although I do not know how hard it is now, because I found it that it is easy for a PC to emulate the PS3. So I don't know how hard it would be for the PS5 to do it. And also, Alan, to your earlier point about Sony is still getting money out of it. We had this story that a couple of weeks ago that said that there are more costs than people think about. At first, it's not just keeping up the servers, and also there's that point where Sony was at some point happy having the PS Vita as passive income, but now after it was cracked, the firmware, they went into full killing it mode.
Yeah, no, I know.
I still think that Sony doesn't like the situation that they are right now, probably, but just to appease the local people, they are changing it up. I still think that they are waiting for that opportunity to actually shut them off.
Yeah.
Well, cool. All right, guys. Instead of talking about the past, let's move to the future of PlayStation. Number 2. PlayStation to publish exclusive AAA multiplayer game from Firewalk Studios. For those that don't know, Firewalk Studios is a new studio that was created in 2018, and this comes directly from their website. Firewalk Studios is a new game development studio whose mission is to spark incredible multiplayer experiences that inspire memorable moments. We believe the brightest memories in gaming often come from playing and sharing experiences with each other. We are excited to be part of the Probably Monsters family of studios, and we are currently working on an unannounced original IP that is being published by our partners at Sony Interactive Entertainment. We look forward to sharing more about our latest project in the future. The studio is made up of industry veterans that have previously worked on games like Call of Duty, Apex, and Destiny. So, Chief, do you think this could be the next SOCOM, next Medal of Honor? What do you think?
I have no idea what it is that they're working on, but I'm excited. Mm-hmm. I was trying to look at their website while you were reading that to be like, I'm not familiar with these guys. What else have they made? And yeah, it's like, well, they're new, so they really haven't made all that
they're new.
Much.
Nothing.
So yeah, I don't know what to expect. And on one hand, that is, well, I don't really have much to say on that. But on the other hand, it's like, well, that's exciting because like they're new and they're hungry, right? And they want to make something wonderful. So I'm looking forward to that and finding out more.
It's it's nice to see that, because we know Sony as being the third-person action-adventure exclusive powerhouse, and for them to notice that they are missing this multiplayer game that's exclusive to them.
Yeah.
Because they have had they've had SOCOM, they've had Medal of Honor, but those went nowhere. So they could make a game with Firewalk Studios that puts them on the the esports scene and stuff like that, which is nice to see. Now that they've bought they bought Evo a few months ago.
Yeah.
They could probably combine that with their multiplayer shooter game or whatever it ends up being. But that is big news for them, adding some sort of variety to the library that they have.
It'd be interesting.
Alan, would you play this multiplayer game?
Real fast.
No.
I
No.
think it'd be interesting if they could somehow mix the like fighting game genre with like a squad based thing that they can do competitively. That would be neat.
Yeah.
I think it would probably be more of a shooter, considering all these people came from Destiny, from Call of Duty,
For sure.
Yeah.
Apex.
Apex Legends, stuff like that. Yeah. So does this excite you, Kai?
Oh, 100% it does. Even though I'm not a multiplayer person, I'm with you, Gino. I think PlayStation badly needs a shooter in their lineup. It's something like Killzone is now at the back burner while Horizon takes over, and I'm 100% okay with that. Resistance needs to come back, but until that time, they don't have an exclusive FPS game that is you can only play on PlayStation. And combining this news with the other news of Jim Ryan saying like there's gonna be more exclusives than ever, and making partnerships with other things, I think the future of new original IPs on PlayStation is going to be super, super awesome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which a lot of people were afraid that wasn't going to be that way with the with the news that we got last week or a few weeks ago. But it looks like there's still a bunch of stuff that we don't know that they're doing.
Yeah.
And this is just one of those things.
Yeah, this just shows you what Sony's strategy is right now, where they are known for being the third-person action adventure game, and that's mainly what their studios are working on. And we even had that story a couple of weeks ago about how that seems to be the internal structure of them, how they favor those types of games. But this news just goes to show you what their strategy is now, where yes, their own studios will work on what they do the best, which is those kinds of games, but whatever other holes that they do not have covered, they can do partnerships. So they have this partnership now.
Yeah, we've seen that already too.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you look when the PS5 was first revealed at that event, and all the indies that were debuted on there and shown off, like Stray, Bugsnax, Jet the Far Shore, Goodbye Volcano High, all those I'm sure have some sort of timed exclusivity on PlayStation or only on PlayStation. And then you see the other things of like Final Fantasy 16 being a PS5 exclusive, or the Square Enix game Forspoken, which was made specifically for PS5. We've already seen these deals kind of already in the works, but now we have confirmation that's going to be even more. And even like Deathloop and Ghostwire, even those are exclusive things, are like gone now. Or at least like soonish we'll probably hear when they come to Xbox. But I think it's super awesome. And at first that article that Schreier put out, I was like, why? Stupid. Don't worry. PlayStation's fine. And I think the other big one people were upset was like with shutting down Sony Japan, there will be like that Japanese influence. But even then, like they put money and invested in, I think it's Team Asobi, which is like
Asobi is a part of
Asobi. No, so Asobi and Asobu are two different things.
Oh,
so Team Asobi made Astrobot. I don't think it's a team, but it's a program called Asobu, which fosters Japanese indies, and they've become like PlayStation is now like the face of that. So like they're going to put money towards these Japanese indie games and stuff, which is rad too. So PlayStation's making all the right moves. They know their weaknesses, it seems like, and I think this multiplayer game is sooner than I think a lot of people think, since it's been working on 2018.
Yeah.
I would not be shocked by June comes around we see a little tidbit, little teaser.
I'm getting a Sobu premium drinkware, water bottles, tumblers. So,
Yeah, that's their side hustle.
but yeah, so I actually do want to mention, Kyle, to your earlier point, you were trying to look up what the studio has done before, and I feel like that, drives home the point that Sony likes to, rather than buy studios, they like to nurture studios. So like, for example, when we've seen Xbox, they buy Obsidian, we know, okay, so they're going to make a single player RPG, first person, whatever they're going to do, because we know them from Fallout and New Vegas. So the different strategy that Sony has, where they try to create these studios and build that team that Firewalk is building with people from Destiny, Apex, Call of Duty, stuff like that, to then, create this IP that is entirely new to everybody, is really cool to see them continue doing, rather than seeing them buy studios and then here, do your thing. Damn.
And to your point,
really
this isn't the first time. Like, I do not remember what studio it was, but yeah, we recently got the news pretty much similar to this one, where Sony was partnering with this new studio headed by...
It was Jade Raymond,
Yeah.
Haven Studios.
Jay Raymond studio. Yeah, that seems to be their strategy with us. Microsoft seems to be that they're starting now their strategy of, we have money, let's buy studios. Sony is the strategy, and they have been like this for a very long time, of nurturing relationships, nurturing studios, and say if you get to an Insomniac level, maybe they'll buy you in the end.
Exactly.
But yeah, that seems to be their strategy. But I do wonder how far that will get, or how long that will last, because if you do have Microsoft doing all these purchases, and depending on how aggressive they get, you have to wonder how aggressive they'll get with that. And seeing as Sony has nowhere near the budget for those kinds of things that Microsoft has, will they start getting outbid by Microsoft? I don't know. I do wonder that.
It could be as simple as thinking, shit, Microsoft is buying everything, so we might as well make our own. You know what I mean? Like, that's as simple as that.
Yeah. That's like where, as far as my fanboy hat goes, when it comes to being a PlayStation fan. Like, when I saw the news that Xbox bought Bethesda, I was very upset. I'm on the team of homegrown, or foster those relationships, like have a strong one before you buy them, and not just pluck them an entire third-party arm out. Like, not even just like a single team. You bought the whole damn thing. It's very much as like another baseball sports reference. It felt like the old school Yankees. Yeah. When they were just signing all the best players. So like when PlayStation signed or bought Insomniac, that was huge because of the rich and deep PlayStation history there. And I'm not saying Bethesda didn't have that with Xbox, but I'm hoping that we in this year we see PlayStation buy Housemarque. And because I think Return of the Previews, I don't see how that game can be bad.
Yeah.
It just looks fantastic. And also, I think they should buy Bluepoint.
Oh, 100%,
After what Bluepoint is done for them, like, those are two gigantic purchases for PlayStation. That would be way too smart.
I'm still waiting for the day Bluepoint remakes the original 3 Sly Cooper games. Like, I'm still waiting on that. I'm waiting.
We need them to work on the Metal Gear remakes.
Oh.
Give me Legend of Dragoon or Resistance.
Ooh.
That's what I want.
No, you shouldn't waste it on.
It could be a lot of things. But you know what they shouldn't work on?
What?
CD Projekt Red.
Ooh.
Number 3.
Remake Cyberpunk.
CD Projekt Red opens up about Cyberpunk sales and refunds. For our monthly update of CD Projekt Red's Cyberpunk, the company has released their revenue and sales number for the 2020 fiscal year. Cyberpunk made a net profit of about $301 million, selling over 13 million copies. The company has also spent $10.65 million in refunds through digital and physical retailers, and an extra $2.23 million through its Help Me Refund campaign. They also expect to lose another $38.34 million due to more refunds and lost sales. The game has still not returned to the PS Store, and although $51 million lost in refunds so far is not too big of a debt, they have lost something far worse than that: their audience's trust.
Oh, snap.
So,
Yep.
I don't have much to say about this game anymore, to be honest with you guys.
Yeah, same.
So, what do you guys?
I just wish CD Projekt Red, like I just wish I lived in the timeline that CD Projekt Red like released Cyberpunk, and Cyberpunk was like the game that like they dreamed of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be really nice to see. I see this and it's actually kind of surprising. I thought they would have taken a bigger hit than this. I was expecting to hear about more refunds, but there in the long run there wasn't that much, and I guess I'm part of the reason of that. I don't know how to say that exactly, but I was
Part of the problem.
Yeah, I get not the problem, but like I did what I guess most people did is I bought the game, I started playing it, and was like, wow, this is buggy as hell, and then I stopped.
And got over it.
Yeah, and so I'm still waiting on the PlayStation 5 patch for it to get their next gen thing, and once I have that, then I will play it. So right now I bought the game and it's sitting there.
I feel like you saying that though, Kyle, you're waiting for the PS5 patch and then you'll play it. I think that's the minority at this point, because I feel like people are probably over it. There's way too much out now. There's much better things coming out too, and what have they done to show us that? Yeah, now that you put the PS5 patch out, definitely good. I trust that it's going to be good now. Now I want to play it. Like I feel like they've lost that sort of that goodwill that people are going to hear that and then they're not going to go back.
They have been putting in the work to fix the game, but you also have to keep in mind they had to deal with yet another setback that they got hacked, and they were for a few weeks there just could not work. Period. And they were just stuck, which really sucks. So I want them to make this game good and better. But we'll see what that looks like down the road.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm with you. I'm also waiting for the game, and I still wanna. I'm waiting for the next gen versions. I still want to play the game to the point that I sometimes struggle with whether or not I should play it on PC because it supposedly runs better. My PC can run it, and also I've seen stuff like how they apparently there was supposed to be wall running in the game, but they took it out, and so there's a mod that put it back in. But then I struggle with that, but I do not know if I want to buy the game again, considering I still have it on my PlayStation account. And so I'm still gonna wait for the PS5 version because problems and all, that game still looks interesting, and the people that played it with at least the better versions on the PC, or people that were lucky on their consoles, they still enjoyed it quite a lot. And so I still want to play that game. They reiterated that the next gen versions of Cyberpunk and The Witcher 3 will come out on the second half on 2021. So we'll have to wait a little bit for those versions.
Fingers crossed. I am a slut for Cyberpunk shit, so bring it my way, guys. Bring it my way.
I'm also waiting. I played the first hour or two and was super let down. I don't know anyone else that played the beginning, but they made such an emphasis on the different lines you can go, the different types of person your V can be. And I picked Nomad. I was like, oh man, I'm going to explore this world for hours, this outside world, before heading into the city. Within an hour, I'm in the city, and it's the same thing that everyone else gets at the same little montage. I'm like, this is a super big letdown. But I still want to experience that story and see what it's all about. Interesting to know, because I was trying to look it up, make sure I had my numbers right. Even though PlayStation pulled it from its store, it sold more copies on PlayStation than did on Xbox, and Xbox had the marketing rights to it.
Wow.
So 56% of everything was PC and Stadia, 28% on PlayStation, and only 17% on Xbox.
That's crazy.
I'm guessing that's mostly people that bought it before it was taken out.
Oh yeah, 100%.
That would be
No, there's,
Never mind.
some of them probably bought it after it was taken
No,
out.
I think
Yeah, no,
I mean,
I'm
yeah.
gonna go buy Cyberpunk on the
Physically,
PSN right
at
now. I'm
least.
gonna go buy it
no.
right now.
The point that I was trying to make is I think those people bought it at the beginning of it, right when the game came
Yeah,
out
no.
or before it came
Yeah.
out, both for
Absolutely.
PlayStation and for Xbox. I know the other
Yeah.
point that I made it was, but
Yeah.
Cool.
that was the one that I was trying to make.
That
That's-
is that,
that's
but like
interesting.
I
the
gotcha.
jokes aside though, that is crazy how fast Cyberpunk sold before, because Sony pulled it pretty quick,
Because of how
and
hard
it
they
sold
hyped it.
that,
You know,
and it sold
Yeah.
that fast.
they hyped that game for
Well,
years.
They had the numbers.
Well, it's weird
out
that
there.
the lack of like review copies on consoles still allowed that game to sell so quickly on consoles.
Well, they had the numbers that how the pre-order numbers were pretty high, so they sold all those games before anyone saw what the game was like in console.
This is why I don't pre-order on the PSN store.
There you go. There you go, guys.
I love you, PlayStation, but I'm gonna buy it physically and pre-order somewhere else. I'm sorry.
Perfect. Perfect. All right. Number 4, guys. This past week we had the DICE Awards, and I want to pull out just 2 important things here. Hades won big. So let me go through the awards that they won. They won Outstanding Achievement for an Independent Game, Action Game of the Year, Outstanding Achievement in Game Design, Outstanding Achievement in Game Direction, and they won the big one, Game of the Year. They were going up against Animal Crossing, The Last of Us 2, Ghost of Tsushima, Final Fantasy VII, and Final Fantasy VII Remake. And then the other big one was Ghost of Tsushima. They won the second most awards that night. Outstanding Achievement in Audio Design, Outstanding Achievement in Original Music Composition, Outstanding Achievement in Art Direction, and Adventure Game of the Year. So
Good
big
shit, man.
wins for them. Yeah. And Hades
Good for them.
beating all of those games out. Very incredible for Hades. So if you
I
guys,
still need to play. I still need to play this game.
You
I
would
still
actually
need to
love that
beat
game, Alan, I think.
game,
I
'cause I'm
know
like
I would.
halfway in. I got to fight my dad once, and then was just like, man, that was a good run. I'm not topping that one.
Yeah.
You couldn't. You only did it once because Daddy gave you a beat down that
He
first
did.
time, that one time.
He
you know?
did. He crushed me.
So big night for those games. Not much we could
Thanks,
say
Dave.
about the the DICE Awards. They don't have like reveals or anything at DICE Awards, do they? These are just awards,
No.
correct?
The DICE Awards, as far as I understand it, it is by developers for developers. So
Cool.
yeah,
Alright.
other than the awards they have, I know they had panels that Caliph Adams hosted,
Yeah.
but other than that, yeah,
Cool.
it's the awards, and it's not like the Game Awards where it's an award, but also mainly just to show off new games.
Yeah. So you guys have not tried out Hades? Try out Hades. And Ghost of Tsushima.
Please,
It's a really good game. They're both
Sony,
good.
I know you're listening to this episode. Call up Supergiant and get Hades on PlayStation
They
5.
have to.
Exactly.
I need to know how that game feels on the
That's-
DualSense. I want to see it in 4K.
Ooh.
Like, I played it on my PC,
Dude,
and I
Hades
love
himself.
it. I love roguelikes, and it's fantastic, but, like, come on.
I am literally holding.
PlayStation,
I am
where's it
holding out for Hades to come to PlayStation. That is the sole reason I have not bought it.
I think it definitely will soon. I definitely will soon.
I hope so.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
I'd
see
like to
why it
speak
wouldn't.
to Mr. Hades, please. This is Jim.
Mr. Hades,
Can
yeah.
I?
Jim Ryan.
Can I get him over here?
Mr. Ryan.
Yeah.
There you go.
He
Kyle.
gets on the. You get on the phone, Jim Ryan, and he goes, "What do you need?" And you go, "Do it."
Chief.
Do it.
Mr. Chief.
Yes, sir.
Kyle Springer. Yo, Kyle Springer
Yo,
at
Kyle.
twitter.com. Take us into new and notable, my friend.
Let's do it. I'll hit the button right now.
All right. We're going to make these new and notable not so new and notable by starting off with the Hand of Fate 2 and Alien Isolation are now free on the Epic Game Store on, I assume, April 29th?
Well, they're free now. They're
Up
free now.
until April 29th.
Yeah.
Until
know
April
who-
29th.
Who deleted that from the doc?
Well, it comes out on the 29th. What month?
Free
You might as well just
now.
keep
No,
checking
no,
the Epic
now.
Game
they
Store.
they are free
Until-
now.
Yeah, now free now.
Up until April.
So they
April
could,
29th.
they could be free until April 29th,
By
May
the time,
29th.
by the time you hear this, they're gone. So it doesn't even matter, guys. Doesn't even matter.
Oh, this show
so-
comes out before this.
Well,
think.
what does matter still is xCloud Gaming has arrived on Windows 10 and the iOS.
Nice.
That matters right now because it has arrived.
I gotta get me a
Now, well-
backbone. I gotta get me one of those. I wanna use that.
I would recommend the Kishi.
No.
Kimchi.
I don't play on my
Pretty good.
phone.
It's just like,
Backbone.
I don't play on my
Just a
phone.
straight flat no. Nah.
No.
I think that the Kishi is pretty good.
You have the
Gino?
backbone?
I have the Kishi.
But you don't have the backbone.
No, because they are only being sold on the US, so
Oh.
it was either
Wow.
these or try to import it.
Damn it,
I see.
US.
Okay.
Hey.
go
Oh,
up a little
nice.
Hey, look. Hey, look. The actual
Look.
alive. Look, it's the Vita if it was actually still alive.
Look
Just
at that.
kidding.
Exactly, yeah.
Looking at
Yeah.
Ignacio's
It is pretty good.
accessibility features on the iOS.
Cool.
That's nice. I'll
Well, Gino.
just get the backbone. What's
Gino.
Just because it is the popular one right now.
Exactly.
Gino, your waifus are coming to PS5 on April 28th. That's right, Genshin Impact, PS5, April 28th. What?
Nice. Good
Will
for
Gino
them.
play it? Probably not, because he's too
Absolutely not.
neck deep in FF14 still.
There you go. Let's keep
Also,
Let's keep
the
that
in
energy.
deep with all the deaths that the game already left.
Yeah.
With.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, waifus of Genshin Impact. Your time is over.
There you go.
But Kyle, you gonna snap some new photos of new Pokemon Snap on the Switch April 30th?
Hell yeah, I am.
Heck yeah.
What's his name? What's the character's name from the
Ash
Johto
Ketchum.
region of Pokemon?
Ash Ketchum.
You have to be way more
no, the guy that
specific.
took photos of Pokemon.
Oh, I have no idea.
Oh,
Brock.
That's gonna be
Tom.
Kyle.
I think Tom.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, but yes, that comes out very soon.
I'm excited.
Same day as Returnal on PS5, April 30th. It's almost here. At the time of recording this, and when it releases, we are less than a week away from this game.
Very exciting. Very exciting.
Yep.
Indeed. Good
Some
stuff.
amazing
Todd.
stuff. And
It's Todd. Todd Snap.
Todd.
God.
I don't. No,
Todd
no,
Snap.
not the I meant the character from the anime.
Professor Oak.
Todd Snap.
No, that's not his name.
Alan, if you tell me the guy from Johto who takes photos,
Professor
who
Oak.
else would it be?
Professor Oak.
I don't. All right. I'm gonna have to go look up Pokemon
There's only
anime.
one person that takes photos, and it is Todd from Pokemon Snap.
All right, I'm looking that up after this. But yes,
Funny.
the new and notable, as I said before, is now old and noted.
There you go.
Nice.
And with that, let's get on to our lightning round.
Hey, so we have a hefty list of news here to talk about. So, first up, the makers of Celeste are making a new game called Earthblade.
Cool names.
I don't know if you
Got
guys got to check out what it is. If anyone wants to
I like how
talk about it.
I like how when they first said they were gonna reveal it, they were gonna do a vibe reveal. So you know what the vibes of the
Yeah.
game are. That's real cool. A lot of people should do that more often.
Yeah.
It's a vibe reveal.
Yep. Celeste, a great game. As recommended.
Yes.
If you haven't played it out
Extremely
there.
hard, extremely difficult.
It is difficult if you want it. If you wanted to make it easier, you can make it easier. It has some good accessibility options.
I did.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and also the game is officially listed with a vague 20XX release date.
Ah, so it'll be 2030 something, right?
Mm-hmm. Could be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
same year that Mega Man takes place in.
Who was it that did that? They did God, I forgot which. They did 20. They did 20. They question marked that number, and then someone did that. I forgot who was it revealed that. I was like, oh, so
That's
2031 now.
Yeah. Next up, Amazon sadly cancels its Lord of the Rings game.
And takes all the team members to New World, which is exciting.
We'll see if New World does come out of.
I pre-ordered it, so
Is that still
We'll
a
see
thing?
if
it is
next.
very much still a thing, and I'm looking forward to it.
So was anyone looking forward to this game?
What?
Nah.
What?
To New World? Yeah.
No, Lord of the Rings.
Never heard of it. I
No.
never heard of it before that.
We have that Gollum game still.
Oh,
so-
yes.
Well, I still don't know how they'll make that work. I don't know how do you make a Gollum game interesting.
It was Tracy.
But apparently
Sketchy.
no one
Okay.
here cares about the Lord of the Rings, which is pretty okay for me. Next up, Overwatch director Jeff Kaplan leaves Blizzard Entertainment.
I wanted to put this in the big news because this is sort of big news, but I feel like there isn't that much to say on it. But
Yeah.
like, I feel like them losing Jeff Kaplan was like, I guess PlayStation losing Sean Layden, something like that. Like, he was the face of freaking Overwatch, you know? So now we're gonna get someone else that gives us updates, or maybe we're just gonna get a blank face that gives us updates. I don't even know. They did announce someone else. I don't know their name, but Jeff Kaplan was literally the face of Overwatch. So I didn't see exactly why he left. I don't know if he gave an actual reason, but that's it's a little bit alarming. A little bit alarming.
Yeah, also leaving before Overwatch 2 comes out.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm not an Overwatch fan, but I know of Jeff from sitting by a fire for 12
Yep.
hours on a loop. And it's funny you brought up the Sean Layden thing, because I feel like he left in the same way. Like, it was very much like no news about it,
Yeah.
or no like mutually parted ways. I think he just wrote like a couple joke sentences, like, I'm off to go do something fun, different. All right, see you later. Bye, kind of
Yeah.
situation. So I'm wondering if it was on bad terms.
Interesting. Yeah.
I hope not. That would suck. But I also secretly, and maybe not so secretly now that I say it out loud, I want PlayStation to hit him up and be like, listen, come make a game for
Yeah.
us. Again, strategic
Hey,
partnership.
Firewalk
with
Studios,
Jeff
man.
Kaplan.
Brand
Join
new. They're
Firewalk
working on
Studios.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
wild.
You have Jade Raymond already. You've already brought in Kojima, even though he might be making an Xbox game. Like, bring these industry icons over to PlayStation and have them make an experience for them. I think that'd be super smart.
Exactly.
Yeah. Also, speaking of Sean Layden, it is pretty wild that we still do not know anything about the circumstances as to why he left. Because I do not think that it was in bad terms, because I've seen people from PlayStation still talking about him in a good way, in a fun way on Twitter and stuff like that. So
Sure, yeah.
I wonder why it was so
Yeah.
weird, so
You'll-
secretive.
Ignacio, you'll never know, so quit asking. All right? Quit asking about it.
Never. We'll get to the news. We'll get to the bottom of this one day.
Ignacio's dead tomorrow.
I will not stop. Next up, I don't know if you saw the leaks this week, but Sony comes out and confirms that it is testing the PlayStation Plus Video Pass in Poland. So yeah, this week it came out that it leaked that Sony was had this new PlayStation Plus Video Pass, and they straight up came out and confirmed that they are testing it out in Poland, which seems to be, like the name suggests, it is a way to watch Sony movies and
Very interesting.
I think TV shows, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, Sony movies and TV. I think it's 30 out the gate, and then every 3 months they'll add
Yeah.
stuff to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not
you-
something that I need or I'm interested in, but from a
It
Sony
would still be
perspective
cool.
as a whole, makes sense that they would try something like this.
Yeah.
The most
Although
interesting.
I might be-
The most interesting part of the sentence is you say Poland. So is that in any relation to City Project Red? Do you think they might be?
No, I doubt it. I do not know why Poland, because if you remember, they tested out Disney Plus somewhere around there before it came out. So I don't know why
Weird.
that region seems to be
That is
So-
interesting.
like a testing ground for these kind of things.
It could be like that region doesn't get like these Sony movies like on streaming
Could be.
services, and
Yeah.
that's why they're testing out. Because I think even like Canada doesn't. They just recently got HBO Max, or maybe not yet. Like it's some weird issues there between the states. So go ahead, test it out, Poland. Let us know how
us
it
know.
goes. I already own all the Sony movies and TV stuff that I want to watch, so this phone help me.
Next up, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake is apparently being developed by Aspire. So we got the rumor a couple of weeks ago, if not more, that there was gonna be an Old Republic remake, and so now someone else came out confirming that at least the rumors are true, and it is being developed by Aspyr. So I've never played any of the KOTOR games. What about you guys?
No.
Neither have I.
Nope.
I'm not necessarily interested in a remake of this, but I think it's interesting to note that Aspyr is owned by Embracer Group. So it will not be an EA exclusive thing. They're already starting to be like, okay, you can work on a remake of that, and you can do this over there, and you can do that, you know. So.
I still think that it would be a remake, so of course it would be an Aspyr game, but still there will be ties to EA because EA probably owns I don't know if necessarily the Knights of the Old Republic name, but at least the core game, I'm guessing EA owns it. So if you're gonna make a remake, it probably
I don't know about that.
In a way tied to EA.
If that's the case, I don't know if Embracer would okay this then.
So do you think, Ignacio, the Ubisoft Star Wars game is tied to EA?
No, because that is a new thing. I think that if you make something with the Knights of the Old Republic, at least the first two games, it has to be tied to EA in some way, shape, or form.
I see.
If you do, I don't think it necessarily means that if you do a KOTOR 3, it has to go through them. But if they make the original games, probably they own the original code.
I see.
So, yeah, it has to do a lot with the trademark stuff and all that stuff, how you can own the trademark for the Star Wars IP, but not the code for the game, which would be owned by whoever developed it. So, we'll see. We'll see if it even comes out, because, of course, it could not come out. But who knows? Next up, Discord Inc. has halted talks to sell itself to potential suitors, including Microsoft Corporation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what they told me.
Yeah. I'm
You
fine
tried
with
to buy
this.
Discord too.
I'm okay with it. I like Discord a lot. The one thing that is kind of disappointing to me is I was hoping if Microsoft did end up buying them that we would get some kind of like NDI support, which is why we still use Skype here to record our podcast. I can pull in the video feeds directly, and I don't need to like do a window capture and all of that stuff. And then I know Skype and I think Microsoft Teams has that capability, but Discord does not, and everyone has been like, Discord, come on, please. So we'll see what they do.
Yeah, we'll see. Next up, we already talked about this a bit, but Jim Ryan says that PlayStation has been quietly investing in PS5 exclusives, and says that this generation will have more exclusive than the previous one.
Cool.
Pretty exciting.
Cool.
Exciting stuff. Yeah.
Good.
We already talked about it, so that's pretty much it. It is good. Also, speaking of Jim Ryan, he also said that Sony is devising a cloud strategy that will be unique and only on PlayStation. Pretty interesting, considering that we got the news a couple of years ago that they were working with Microsoft on cloud gaming. So I wonder if that deal fell off or if they're using that to create their own cloud strategy. Who knows? They still have PS now, so who knows when that will happen, if ever.
Mm-hmm.
Keeping on with PlayStation and streaming. PlayStation now stream games in 1080p. Something that I didn't know it couldn't do already.
Yeah, finally.
I'm shocked.
I didn't know that either.
This
Holy
hasn't been a
moly.
thing already.
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
it could.
Yeah.
720p, but baby.
I
Wow.
tried it out last year, and looking back, yeah, it was probably 720p, even though it ran great. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah, cool that they're upping it up to 1080p, but I think the thing now should be them trying to rise it to 4K, I think.
Definitely.
Yeah. But then again, that doesn't seem like a lot of people use PS now. So unless Sony decides to invest more on cloud streaming, which according to the last news story, they might. We'll have to see whether or not that will be a thing. Battlefield 2021 to be revealed soon.
I feel like they've been saying like, "Oh, we're gonna reveal it soon. We're gonna reveal it soon."
Yep.
Every once in a while.
Yep.
So
It's to keep your interest somewhat,
Yeah.
stimulated. That way you're like, oh
But
yeah, Battlefield's
also
still coming.
along with the story that they said they were gonna release a mobile game as well in 2022.
Yeah.
They said. So that's nice. Another reason to get my backbone. Writing this.
Yeah. No,
Are you sponsored by Backbone?
Yeah,
Is that why
it was,
you're saying
yeah.
it so much?
No, I just want the backbone.
no it's just that's the popular thing right now.
That's when you hear Gino go, but Backbone, like you're listening.
Yeah. Use code Gino. Check out.
Now for you Destiny dorks out there, Destiny 2 as
Wow.
Transmog.
Finally, man.
Transmog.
Gotta call out the Destiny 2 dorks like that. Wow.
Nice.
We're all dorks here. It's okay. Next up, speaking of Pokemon Snap coming up soon, Fujifilm and Nintendo team up on a Switch-themed Instax printer that will let you print pictures from your Nintendo Switch. Also, a limited edition bundle will come with a Pikachu silicone case.
This
Cal,
just
will you be getting this one?
I won't, but I
You should.
don't know if it's a separate printer or it's just an
No,
app
okay,
that
so-
works with the existing Instax.
So if you do not know,
printer thing.
an Instax printer by Fujifilm are basically these small printers. Pretty much, I think they are like pocket size. Small printers that pretty much print similar to like a Polaroid, which
Yeah.
it is instant printing. And so the way that it will work, it will be through an app on your phone,
Yeah.
which will connect you probably to the Switch and to the Instax so that you can
Yeah.
upload your photos to the phone and then print it out on the Instax.
Yeah, because I was pretty sure you could buy these printers now. They just don't have
Yeah.
the like app to hook it up yet. But
Yeah, no, the Instax printers already exist.
Yeah, I have one.
The thing here is that they're teaming up and that they will make it so you can print your photos from your Switch directly through
And
an
like they're gonna make a Pokemon themed apparently.
Gino,
That's
you
it.
have one.
Yeah. You guys want to talk? I'll go get it.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh.
So this is
Nice.
really neat because I remember back when Pokemon Snap
Yeah.
first came out and they had those stations at Blockbuster that you could take your memory pack in and get your pictures with that thing. And that was so cool. And
Yep.
also the like Game Boy printer
Printer.
that they had there.
Game Boy
Yeah.
printer. Yeah.
That was neat. There it is.
Wow.
Instax printer.
Look at
that.
Polaroid.
Blockbuster.
Yeah, so you use the app and then it just prints out of here.
That's
It's
neat.
pretty cool.
That's cool.
Is it expensive to like refill like the pages? and whatnot?
The Polaroids are like, I think it's $15 for like a 20 pack. So,
Okay.
so yeah.
I'm just thinking like if my niece is playing Pokemon Snap. I'm got to buy photo paper
Yeah.
every other day. I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But they're pretty cool. They're pretty
No,
interesting.
that's when you just
That's nice.
that's when you just become Professor Oak and you just harshly judge every photo and be like, you can only print one.
That one's not good enough.
You
You're
gotta-
terrible.
Yeah.
Pokemon photographer.
like they have one great photo of like Pikachu and then she brings you another one and you go, all right, I'll print this one out, but we're throwing your old one away.
Yeah.
So,
Only one spot on the
There you
fridge.
go.
Yeah, only
I
one
only have
spot.
one magnet.
Polaroid,
Yeah.
Instax, code Gino on
Showing
Polaroid.com.
Do you have the straight up Polaroid?
Backbone?
Yeah.
Like, no, they.
What'd you say?
God, I started to think that they have
Yeah,
sponsored you.
yeah.
No, I don't. I
No,
don't.
if you had the
Backbone
straight up
Polaroid.
No, I don't.
the camera.
No, just that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll ask again. Yo, Kyle, will you be getting one?
no, I will not. I want the game, but I have no need to print out my photos.
But you could put your photos on the fridge.
I will pass.
You can have a little
Thank you.
Pikachu.
So when your roommate sees the photo and they go, what's this? And you go, you like it? took it myself.
That's my Pikachu right there. That I found.
I mean, I'm sure. Like, aren't NFTs worth a lot of money now? Like,
you're right.
you can probably make some money
You're right.
over some
NFT
physical Pokemon
That's
Snap
right.
things.
Original
Yeah.
Kyle Springer Pokemon Snap photo, never
Springer.
printed again.
Absolutely.
Here it is, one of one.
That's when you get the
this.
photos, and
That's
for
it.
people that can't buy the game, you're just like, well, I'm sorry you can't buy the game because they're sold out, but I do have these snazzy photos from the game that you could buy.
Yeah.
Yeah, open up an art gallery in downtown.
Yeah.
Just put
Really
it up
good
there.
idea.
You want Pikachu? I got Machoke, Machamp. What do you want here? You know?
You got
It'd be really funny though. Just a huge art gallery, right? And just these little tiny
yeah,
Pokemon
wall
size
to
pictures just
wall.
on a blank white
Giant
wall.
Yeah.
That's all there is.
Great.
That's
Good
great.
stuff.
Kyle outside. What are you buying?
Next news story. It Takes Two has sold 1 million copies.
Last
for
one.
them.
Good.
Well deserved.
Good.
Very well deserved. Am I the
Good.
only one who's played this? Have you guys played this?
No, I had them to Gene.
Oh, you have.
Of course.
He's like, oh, excuse me.
Do you liked it?
Honestly, this is probably my favorite game of 2021 so far.
Okay,
Oh.
good. All right.
You almost
I was
pitched it
nervous
up.
there. Oh my god. Yeah, that's actually if this game isn't at least nominated for something, it
But if they re-release Cuphead though, it's gonna be a
Oh my
something.
god.
It Takes
No.
Two was truly an incredible experience. I think it's being also called the best co-op game ever or something. Which I would stand behind that. You know,
Oh, yeah.
it's definitely an interesting, amazing, beautiful co-op experience
Gina.
that deserves Game of the Year or a nomination.
Did you know that one of the trophies requires you to be in space and listen for transmissions out in space? And one of the dialogues you can hear that gives you a trophy is the exact audio quote where he says "fuck the Oscars." It's in the game.
Oh, that's so
kinda
cool.
That's
cool,
awesome.
actually. Yeah.
I didn't know
It's
that.
in the game.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
There you go.
I'm excited to see what they do, what that they keep doing, man. Because they have their games have just gotten better and better after every single one. So it's exciting.
Yeah. And then the last thing that I want to talk about that I didn't include on the document here is an update on a story that we talked about last week. If you remember, Konami seems to be teasing something with Metal Gear.
Right.
They put out that Twitter account. And so we all thought that this week they might have done something with it. They said they made a reference to next week, which would have been this week, but still nothing. And so, yeah, the Twitter account has still been putting out photos of Steel Big Shell. And they once again made another they talked about something happening this week. So who knows?
Not
if this
today.
week comes and go, if this week comes and goes and now no Metal Gear story, then
So
we know that we shouldn't have getting our hopes up.
so your update was that there is
Nothing.
no update.
Nothing.
There is no update.
My update is that
Ignacio
nothing
goes,
happened.
"I have a breaking news update
is
to tell you
they
that there is nothing
disappointed
new."
us. That's what it is.
Cool.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
and that's it.
Well, let's see. Kyle, we like to end our shows with something that we are excited about this next week. So what are you excited for? What are you looking to get into?
I am most excited to get my hands on Returnal. That is at the top of the list.
Go.
It's been a while since we've had a PS5 exclusive. The drought is now finally over. I can't wait. Seeing the video of that Blessing put up of the haptics on that
Yeah.
DualSense and the raindrops, it sounds like raindrops on the
That is
controller.
awesome.
Like, I can't wait. And I love a good roguelike. I'm just hoping the story is good. I want a good story, but I trust in Housemarque. I love all their games, so it's going to be awesome.
Go.
Nice.
There you go. Gino, what are you excited for? You getting a backbone this week or something?
Maybe one day. If they're
It was because they're going to sponsor him
if
after
they're
this, so he'll
listening,
get a
if they're
free
listening.
one.
I'm also excited for Returnal. The DualSense is really something that I'm excited to experience
Yeah.
more of. I'm excited to jump back into some more Nier. And I finally got a few friends of mine to start playing Final Fantasy, so that's very exciting for me.
Cool.
Been playing that game for 8 years, and this is some of the most fun I've had now with friends, which is freaking exciting. So I'm excited to jump more back into that. And just video games with friends. Video games, dude. Freaking love it.
Games indeed. Alan,
Love it.
what are you excited for?
You know, we've already mentioned playing more Nier, which I'm gonna obviously do, and Returnal that we're all excited for. But I'm actually gonna do an outside of video game excitement.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited to play more disc golf because I went disc golfing on, crap, what is today? I went for Friday, and I almost got my first ace ever. I threw it and I hit the basket itself.
Ooh,
Wow.
close.
It was like it was like a 245 foot hole. I almost aced it, and I will never come closer again. But I can believe.
Nice.
There you go. Ignacio, what are you excited for this week?
I'm back and forth on whether or not I'm excited for Returnal because that game looks cool, but I don't know. Roguelikes do not do it for me like it does for other people. But right now, I'm more towards the being excited for Returnal. Other than that, I'm thinking I might play Pokemon Snap.
Yeah, join the club.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
Also looking forward to that one.
Nice.
Good stuff. Yeah, I am excited for both of those. I will be buying them day one each. But yeah, I think I'm going to dive into Pokemon Snap soon because I feel like that's just a good, relaxing way to spend this next week, and I'm excited about that. So there you go.
Nice.
Go indeed. Kyle, thank you so much for joining us on this show. It was a blast. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I had a great time. Anytime I get to talk about games with awesome people like yourselves, I'll take that opportunity.
Oh
every
yeah.
Nice.
And once again, where can they find you and support you on the internet?
Sure. You can find me on Twitter at Mr. KSEP, which is also my PSN name, so friend me there as well. You can follow the weekly PlayStation podcast, PS Trophy Room on Twitter at PS Trophy Room, and the Trophy Room on YouTube, and listen wherever you get your podcast services. And if you want to check out some cool new indies that are coming out soon, we recently got to play Tunic, A Space for the Unbound, Lake, a crazy sounding game, Kraken Academy, that has a broccoli girl in it. It sounds weird and it sounds awesome. Go check out all those preview pieces up at 61indie.com, and that 61indie is also our Twitter handle, Twitch, and YouTube channel.
Nice. Good stuff.
How do you spell that PSN name?
Now I'm looking it up.
Mr. MRKSTEP.
See, that's what I put in.
Yeah, it doesn't show up for me.
Oh, I'm secret.
Magic.
No, I'm not. I'm actually not. It's
Then
very
you guys went
public.
straight to it.
I
I
don't know
don't
what's
straight to it.
Must have been the thing that happened to
Oh,
you.
I see why it didn't show up.
Why? Why?
I'm on the app.
Yeah.
It says game and then it says players. You have to click on players.
Oh.
Cool.
There you go. Gino, where can they find you on the internet?
You guys can find me on Twitter at Gino_Viteri, and you could find all my socials on there.
There you go. And Alan.
Oh, you can find me at Twitch at twitch.tv/AsUPKK. I am doing a 100% run of Super Mario Sunshine.
There you go.
And I'm using
I'm sorry
cheese
for you.
strats, so I'm slowly learning how to break the game.
Cool.
I'm sorry for you.
Hey, Ignacio, where can they find you not playing Mario Sunshine?
Well, they can find me on Twitter at Ignacio Rojas B. That's IGNACIOROJASB.
Go. And if you guys want to find me, I'm at Yo Kyle Springer on Twitter. And if you guys want to stay up to date with all of our shows here at the Whatnauts, you can follow us on Twitter at the Whatnauts. Go like, share, subscribe, do all of that stuff. If you have some nice words to say, go rate and review us. That would help us out a ton, especially since we are smaller creators. We need to get our show out there for more people to check out. So there you go. That about wraps us up for this week. So once again, thank you, Kyle, for joining us. and be sure to go check out all of his work as well. But with that, we will see you all next week. Bye.
Goodbye. The Tuka is really confusing.
Wow. Oh my god.
You did great. Code Gino at checkout, everybody.